Hi guys, back here again to talk about some dolls. So I wasn't really planning on making another new releases video so soon. I do try to do them monthly, but sometimes I save them if I just don't think there's much to talk about. But if you watched my last video, I mentioned that this is just a very, very busy and a little bit stressful time for my day job. So I have my more in-depth, research-heavy videos just on the back burner for now. But that's okay. It's not like there's just absolutely nothing I can talk about. I might have to revisit some things I have already talked about in some other recent videos just for consistency's sake, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Or if it is, if the Earth does explode after I publish this video, it's probably not because I talked about the same Monster High doll twice in a row. Oh, if you're new here, this is just a series on my channel where I go over new or upcoming fashion doll releases. Also, it's really hot here in Texas right now, and my air conditioning isn't working too great. Thankfully, I don't sweat, but if I start glistening, ignore it. We're here to talk about dolls. But I think that's enough for the intro here. Let's go ahead and get into it. I usually like to start these with my good friend, Barbie. But there's not a ton of new Barbie stuff yet. There's a new line called Touch of Magic, which I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but I've seen it around that these are for the new movie. So we have Malibu and Brooklyn and what looks like some fairy-ish outfits. And they're cute-ish. I'm not like a totally anti-molded on plastic tops for Barbie. These aren't the worst I've ever seen. I definitely don't plan on getting them, but they're fine. They're fine. The color schemes are really cute, at least. There's some others in the line. I don't think these have names yet, and they're not as good. Significantly worse, I would say. Again, the colors are cute. I do actually really like the hair on the girl that has the split dye, but I definitely don't feel like I need these. Not a doll, but something I still definitely need to talk about. The Barbie Nendoroid recently came up for pre-order. Obviously, I added her to my cart immediately. I was never a big Nendoroid collector. I only ever had two, and I don't have them anymore, but obviously I had to get her. She's really cute. She comes with different clothing options and faceplate, so you have the more traditional Nendoroid style, a look modeled after the first Barbie, and the Millie sculpt. When I tell you, I screamed when I saw this, and not in a good way. Like, this was a personal attack. I did still buy her, though. For Disney, we're starting to see some of the dolls for the upcoming live-action Little Mermaid movie. There's one doll right now that's up for pre-order, and I am pretty impressed, actually. This one is from Mattel, and I think they did such an incredible job of capturing Hallie. Obviously, it's not the most exciting, most elaborately designed doll in the world, but it has me pretty hopeful for the more deluxe dolls in the future. I think they're going to be really cute. The bar for dolls based on live-action Disney retellings has certainly been raised since years past. We also have confirmation for some future Disney Illy. Apparently, they are pronounced Illy and not I-L-Y. But for right now, we just have a picture of a Mickey Mouse-inspired doll who comes in this big mix-and-match set. But we can also expect to see dolls based on Ursula, Bambi, and Stitch, which I'm excited for. I kind of want this doll line to just continue on forever because there's so many possibilities. It's so fun. Let's see. Oh, I guess I can talk about Integrity toys. I always forget to talk about Integrity, even as a W Club member. But let me know if you would like me to include them more in these videos, and I'll try to be more consistent this year. But they recently announced the upgrade dolls for the 2023 membership. So these are the dolls that you can add on with the purchase of a W Club membership. And this year, all three of them are alternate versions of some popular releases they've had. So there's Summer Rose Eugenia, a recolor of English Rose Eugenia from 2019, I think. I'm a pretty recent collector of Integrity, so I'm definitely not an expert on them. She's pretty. I'm pretty picky on Integrity toys because they're so expensive, and she doesn't just wow me, I guess. Then Alejandra Luna, based on her $1 billion baddie doll. And I do like her. I'm just not a big fan of sequins on dolls, which is like purely a personal thing. I don't think her outfit is ugly or anything, but I do love her long red hair. I think that's really gorgeous. And the third one, the one I did buy, Lemon Lullaby Poppy Parker, who is actually the third version of this doll. There's also a blue version and a pink version of this outfit, and I just think she's so incredibly pretty. I'm not actually a huge fan of like pajama dolls, but specifically like lingerie dolls, I'm always here for them. Almost all the dolls I've bought from Integrity so far have been Poppy Parkers, which is not necessarily by choice. I actually didn't envision myself becoming a Poppy Parker collector specifically, but I guess I just liked her a lot so far. For American Girl, we have the two new historical dolls representing 1999, the twins Nikki and Isabel. And okay, I'm probably about to go on a tangent here because I have a lot of thoughts on these dolls, so prepare yourself. First off, I saw a lot of people really upset that 1999 was considered a historical now. And that seems to be where a lot of the negative reception is coming from. And I don't entirely disagree. I think there are a lot of decades from way further back that deserved some historical dolls first. But I also don't think making historical dolls set in 1999 is implying that, like, anyone born before 1999 is prehistoric. A Y2K, as in the historical event, not the fashion style. It was a pretty interesting time period, and I think there's good material there for a quote-unquote historical setting. Do I think these dolls are a good representation of the 90s, though? I think asking that question is a bit misleading, because these aren't really 90s dolls. They're set in 1999. For all purposes, they're basically early 2000s dolls. And speaking to that, I mean, yeah, I think they did a fairly okay job of capturing that time period. I actually really love Isabel's doll. I do think her outfit is a little bit derivative, I guess would be the word. Like, I've seen this Clueless look reimagined dozens of times on dozens of dolls at this point, but I still think she's very cute, and she's absolutely the kind of girl I would be best friends with as a kid. All that said, my issue with these dolls comes from the fact that I think they were released too soon after Claudie. Usually there's a few years between historical releases, but Mattel just did not let Claudie have her moment. Her collection upon release was incredibly small and had almost no historical outfits. There was almost no promotion for her, and she's yet to get any new items announced. And like, Claudie is from a time period that was extremely anticipated for the historical lineup, and one of the very few characters of color, specifically black characters, and it's just crazy that they're treating her like an afterthought. I mean, Nikki and Isabel have their own animated series on the YouTube channel, and what does Claudie have? Just one of those weird music videos. I think all that's left for today is just a bunch of Monster High stuff, starting with some upcoming basic releases, Abby Abominable and Claude Wolf. I'll talk about Claude first, and I'll say he's very cute. I do really like Claude's G3 design, but he is a boy doll, and I'm just not very interested. And before anyone gets mad, let me repeat myself. I'm not against boy dolls existing. Like, they're fine. I actually had someone call me sexist recently for saying I don't really buy boy dolls, and it's really only because I find them boring. It's a purely personal thing. I just really don't like a lot of mainstream men's fashion. I don't find it very interesting, so I'm not going to spend my money on them. I'm sorry. I do really like his curly hair, though. I hope we see more varied hair textures, just in G3 in general. Then we have Abby Abominable, and I really like her. First off, you know I love a stole. The bigger and fluffier, the better. And I just think this is such a cute design. I do think, like a few other G3 dolls, it is a little too literal. Like, yeah, she has ice power, so she wears a bunch of snowflakes. We get it. But I think for the aesthetic of the outfit, like the borderline Y2K thing they were going for, it does work here. And this shade of purple just looks so incredible on Abby. I definitely will be buying her. And then we have the Hairplay Laguna doll. She's cute too. I haven't decided yet if I want her, just because there's Laguna dolls I do like more than her. But I love that she looks like she'll fit right at home with the creepover dolls, and her long hair does look pretty fun. Her outfit, though, it's not my favorite, and I definitely won't be buying her for the hair chalk. I already know how that's going to go. And then we have the upcoming Monster Ball line, which I am so excited for. There's Draculaura, who's definitely my favorite. I love how pink and poofy she is. I love her big hair. I love the big bow. I just love her in general. Cleo also looks great. Her outfit is a bit simpler than the others, but I do think it was a little smart to make her headpiece kind of the focal point of the look. It's definitely a statement piece, and it's just so Cleo to show up to a dance wearing a giant crown. I do wonder if it's as stable as it looks in the stock images, though. I am a bit worried that it'll be maybe too heavy to fit properly on her head, but we'll just have to see. And then there's Laguna, who is very divisive, I've noticed. And I understand why. It's a pretty unusual silhouette, and I think we're all pretty tired of mermaid-style dresses. But this line is very overtly 80s inspired, and I actually really love that. A lot of the things that people don't like about this look are actually pretty accurate to 80s fashion, and I really love the commitment there. So I like her, especially, again, the curly hair. The makeup, too. Laguna, specifically, in G3, has been getting some really incredible makeup looks. And then we have Claudine. I'm so here for this Claudine. I think she looks amazing. I love the darker brown hair on her. I think it suits her so much better than the silvery blonde they've been giving her. And just the outfit, the color scheme, the tailoring. This is a top-tier Claudine look. And I think that's everything I have on my list for today. Sorry that today's video was a little shorter than usual and that I just didn't have a ton of stuff to talk about, but still, thank you so much for watching. I hope you still enjoyed. Be sure to tell me which upcoming dolls you're most looking forward to, and also which ones you'll be skipping out on. And when you're done with that, just be sure to like and subscribe for any future fashion doll content. Now go out and get those dolls.